My name is Dr. Arwin Smallwood of the Department of History at North Carolina A&T, where I serve as the chair of the Department of History. And I wanted to talk basically today about a few points, or I think important points, that students and individuals can use as guiding principles in their professional development and in their lives in general. So I basically want to talk about 6 guiding principles. And as I talk about these 6 guiding principles, I would like for you to just consider them and think about how you can benefit from using these 6 principles. The 6 principles that have affected my life in a very positive way and that I have used to pretty much guide my professional development and my academic development starts with number 1, integrity. And I'm going to explain these principles in more detail and give you, examples of these in many instances. Number 2, loyalty. 3, commitment. 4, energy. 5, decisiveness. And 6, selflessness. If you start with integrity, what do I mean? I mean have a commitment to the highest personal and professional standards. And when you do that, you will always be honest, or should always be honest and fair, and committed to searching out the truth. So whatever profession that you might be in, or if you were a student, if you imply the principle of integrity, I think that you will find that you will be committed to the task that you're engaged in, and that you will be able to seek out and achieve truth. Here at North Carolina A&T, Dr. Warmoth T. Gibbs was a man of great integrity. And particularly when he stated during the sit-ins during the Civil Rights Movement that as president of North Carolina A&T, we teach our students how to think, not what to think. It took a great deal of not only integrity but courage. So it's important that we understand the significance and the importance of integrity. The second thing is commitment. One should have a complete devotion to their duty as a student, as a leader in the community, and just in general in life. We all have an obligation, not an option, an obligation to help uplift ourselves, our family, and as many members of our community as possible from poverty and from ignorance. It's important to understand that if a young child, most young children will begin to struggle to read around the 3rd grade. And if they can't read well, by the end of the 3rd grade, they're less likely to finish high school, much less ever go on to college. If each of us just tutored one 3rd grader and worked with them to learn to read, we could improve our community and improve society. So we must have a commitment to excellence, have a commitment to our community, have a commitment to each other, and to assist each other in doing well. Dr. James E. Shepard, the founder and president of North Carolina Central University in Durham, noted that there is no economy in ignorance. He was committed to education and committed to learning. And he understood that without an education and without learning, people would not be able to thrive and to succeed. 3rd, energy. As you engage in whatever endeavor you are involved with in life, you must be mentally and physically prepared to stay the course until the job is done. Always be enthusiastic, look and act the part, have drive, and always take the initiative. I am grateful to intelligent people. That doesn't mean educated people. That doesn't mean intellectuals. I mean really intelligent people. What old people used to call mother wit, meaning intelligence that you have in your mother's womb. This is not my quote. This is a quote from Maya Angelou. But it guides my life. So it's important to understand that we will have challenges and we will have people try to discourage us in life, but it's important that we stay the course and have energy and have the energy that we need to succeed. Number 4, decisiveness. When the time comes, you must be willing to act. It doesn't matter what the endeavor. There will come a time in which you will have to act. British Admiral Sir Roger Keyes noted, "In all operations, a moment arrives when brave decisions have to be made if an enterprise is to be carried through." In other words, we all will reach a point in our lives where we will be required to make choices and make a decision that will most likely impact the rest of our lives. And we must be prepared to make a wise choice and make the right decision that will help lead to our eventual success. 5th, selflessness. What is selflessness? It's sacrificing personal requirements for a greater cause or good. In other words, you cannot and should not place comfort or convenience before that of your family, your close friends, and your community. In short, those you care for and or represent. Most of us who have been successful can note several people in our lives who sacrificed for us. Either our parents, grandparents, guardians, wives. There at some point in our lives where we were struggling to move forward and someone sacrificed. A parent didn't buy a new dress or didn't buy a pair of shoes so that we could get a course in tutoring in math, or we could take that trip with the rest of the class to go and look at Washington, D.C. At some point in our lives, there are individuals, a professor, a school teacher, a member of the church, who actually took time and sacrificed for us so that we would have the opportunity to go on and do the things that we're doing now. I can name numerous people in my lives, Frank Stevenson, Barbara Pendleton, my parents, my father and mother, my grandparents, who at different points of my life, in my life, sacrificed so that I could be here today and be talking to you now. So remember not just the sacrifices of others, but remember one day you will be required to make the same sacrifice for someone else. And you must be prepared to do so. Now, it's important to understand that when you are using these guiding principles, these 6 principles, that there are 4 steps that I think you should apply, 4 processes that should accompany these 6 principles. First is knowing your job. Second, knowing yourself. Third, setting the example. And then 4th, and most importantly, caring for people. It's important to understand that if you know your job, others will follow you. If you're competent and you know the direction in which you're trying to go, you can easily convince people of the importance of what it is that you're doing, and people will support you in that endeavor. You should know yourself. And in knowing yourself, you should know your strengths and your weaknesses. For example, if you are a person who gets nervous when you have to speak publicly, but you write very well, then focus on writing and writing newsletters, writing newspapers, writing things to get the word out and to inform people. But if you are a great public speaker and you have the ability to move audiences and to move people, but you know that you are not necessarily a very good writer, then you reverse it and you focus your emphasis on communicating directly to people, talking to people, inspiring people. So we have to identify our strengths and our weaknesses, and once they are identified, we use those strengths to be as successful as we possibly can. Setting the example. It's important that we understand whether you are a student, whether you are a faculty member, whether you are a professional, whatever you do in life, you must set the standard, you must set the example. People will look to you for leadership and for guidance. How you dress, how you carry yourself, the things that you say, they will emulate. Young children particularly so. If you use inappropriate language, those young children will use inappropriate language. So it's important that you understand that you are being observed all the time, if not by your immediate family and your children, also by others in the community and in the workplace. And it's very important that you look and act the part and be aware of the fact that you have to lead by example. And then finally, and most importantly, caring for people. My parents taught me one thing. Neither had finished college and had a college education. I was a first generation student to attend college and get a college degree, and the first to go on to get a PhD. But what my parents taught me as a young boy that I still live by today was that you treat people the way you want to be treated. Doesn't require a PhD. Doesn't require any advanced learning. You treat everyone that you encounter, whether it's the janitor, whether it is a person working at a fast food restaurant or a waitress or a waiter, you treat everyone the way that you would want to be treated. And you will be amazed at how far you will go from just simple kindness. So this is my message to you. I hope that these words are encouraging in some way to you. I hope that by listening to this that you are able to think about this and be able to utilize this in your daily life. But this is my message to you today, and I want to thank you for taking your time out to listen to me today. Thank you.